Mrs. Johnston, welcome back. We are working on knowledge and science. We are in Unit 11, Taking Care of the Earth, Lesson 9, Willie the Water Drop. The next read aloud, you will hear about the journey of a water drop named Willie. Water drops don't really have names, in that Willie is a make believe character. So, who can tell me what is a character? A character is a person, animal, or thing that a story is about. What does it mean if a character is make believe? If a character is make believe, then it means that it is not real. Willie's travels are similar to those that real water drops take. Willie travels from place to place. He turns into different types of water. There are three basic types of water: fresh water, salt water, and wastewater. Let's look at our picture that we are looking at, the image we see. Which one do you think is fresh water? Did you say the water coming into your home that you wash your hands with? Fresh water is clean water. So, which picture do you think is salt water? The one of the ocean or the sea? Salty water is from the ocean. And what do you think is wastewater? The last picture image is wastewater. Wastewater is water that is no longer clean because it has been used by people to wash or flush away materials such as dirt and chemicals. Which basic form of water do you think is safe to drink? Did you say fresh water is safe for people to drink? Which is not safe to drink? Did you say the wastewater? Wastewater is not safe to drink because it can cause harm to animals and to humans and make them become very sick. What are the three basic types of water? Did you say fresh water, salt water, and wastewater? The presence of toxic wastewater is one reason why we need water treatment plants. A water treatment plant is a place that cleans dirty water. You will hear about Willie's journey to different places, including a water treatment plant where Willie will be cleaned and made ready to continue on his travels. Listen for the different places that Willie goes on his journey as a little drop of water. Water is one of the most important natural resources on Earth. No matter who you are, what you do, or where you live, You'll always need plenty of water. Luckily, I have a lot of water on my surface. Remember, there is more water than land on the surface of the earth. But I'm here to tell you that you need to help take care of the water if you want to help make sure that Earth is always a happy, healthy place to live. Water is such an important natural resource that I decided to tell you a story about a special little drop of water that I named Willie. I found Willie a week ago, resting on this leaf with a bunch of other water drops. A drop is a small, round amount of water. Yes, Willie is just one little drop of water, not much compared to all the water there is on Earth. But you should know that every single drop of water is important, especially fresh water like Willie. Fresh water is what you need when you're thirsty, or when you need to take a bath, or for any of the household other things you use water for. It's very precious, and less than 1% of the water on my surface is fresh. 1% means that for every 100 drops of water, only one drop is fresh water. You might be surprised to learn that Willie the water drop is actually a very busy fellow. Like most water drops, he is always on the move. I decided to follow Willie and see what happened to him after he landed on this leaf. Willie wasn't on the leaf for long. A breeze came along and shook the leaf, sending Willie into this winding river. I wondered what would happen to Willie when he was washed through all the litter in the river. Sure enough, he picked up a little dirt and grime along the way. Willie used to be freshwater, but do you see how easily he becomes dirty? See Willie right here? Later, Willie the water drop passed a big factory where people produce many different things in factories. Unfortunately, almost all factories produce wastewater. Wastewater is water that is no longer clean because it has been used by people to wash or flush materials such as dirt and chemicals. Whatever they're making inside the factory, whether they're mixing paint or making ink or mopping the floors at the end of the day, people are using water. That dirty water needs to go somewhere when they're done with it. Wastewater is the dirty water that comes out of factories like this one, but it doesn't go to the landfill like trash from your kitchen. Instead, it goes down the drain and sometimes ends up back in a river or other body of water. What do you think is coming out of this pipe? Did you say dirty, yucky water? Willie went past this wastewater pipe on the other side of the factory. Trust me, you don't even want to know what was coming out of this pipe. This pipe, and many others like it, can pollute the fresh water supply. Supply means the amount of something available for use. The fresh water supply is the amount of fresh water available to all the creatures on Earth. What's the water supply? That's pretty much the whole point of the story. Willie the Water Drop is part of the freshwater supply, or at least he was when he first started out on the leaf. You and all the creatures and plants on Earth depend on the fresh water supply. There's plenty of water for everyone as long as everyone is careful not to use too much or pollute it. One morning in the river, when Willie passed through a trout's gills, remember how you learned that polluted air is bad for your lungs? Well, polluted water is bad for a fish's gills, too. When this fish swam by, Willie the Water Drop passed right through its gills. Any pollutants or dirty, harmful things that Willie picked up when he passed the litter or wastewater pipe could have been left inside this fish. That's not good for the fish. Many cities get their water from reservoirs, and this is exactly where Willie the Water Drop ended up after a week or so in the river. A reservoir is a place made by people to collect and store water. Reservoirs are created by building a dam like the one in this picture across a river. This is the dam that was created. By damming the river, people are able to make a big lake. And this is the lake that was created from the dam that was built. After Willie the Water Drop floated around in the reservoir for a few days, he went down a pipe and into this water treatment plant. This is like a big bathtub, only here they are actually cleaning water instead of using water to clean something else. After Willie sat in this treatment plant for a while, and the people were sure that he didn't have any more pollutants or other dirty stuff in him, he was ready to go through the pipes to someone's home. Once he left the treatment plant, Willie went into another pipe, and then another, and another, until finally he ended up flowing out of someone's bathroom faucet. A boy was washing his hands before dinner. That's a good thing because there were all sorts of germs on that boy's hands. This is why Willie likes being a water drop. He knows he's helping boys and girls grow up to be healthy and clean. Where is Willie going now? Willie the Water Drop was happy to have helped the boy get ready for dinner, but then it was straight down the drain for Willie. He went down the sink drain and into the drain pipe. Do you think that was the end of Willie the Water Drop? Is that the last we'll ever see of him? Actually, the answer is no. Willie will be back again. Right now, he could be in a wastewater pipe or floating around in a reservoir. However, there's really no telling exactly where he'll end up. Hopefully, Willie will go through another water treatment plant so they can clean off all the dirt and pollution before he is washed out of a big pipe like this and into a river. Once he is back in the river, Willie could flow to another reservoir. He could flow to the ocean. Maybe a bird will drink him, or maybe Willie will wind up in a sunny spot like this. The heat from the sun will make him evaporate, turning him into water vapor. Instead of being a water drop, he will be part of the air for a while. He'll float up into the sky, and there he could become part of a cloud. You heard it right. Clouds are actually fluffy bundles of tiny little water droplets up in the sky. The water in the clouds was once part of the river or lake or stream on the surface of the earth. Once he becomes part of the clouds again, Willie the water drop will float across the sky until one morning it will rain, and there you'll find Willie sitting on a leaf, waiting to start his journey all over again. Perhaps he'll end up in a bathtub or a swimming pool near you. Which important natural resource did good old Earth tell you about in this read aloud? Did you remember water? What is the difference between fresh water and wastewater? Did you say these items? You can drink fresh water, but you can't drink wastewater. Fresh water is clean water, and wastewater is dirty and can make you sick if you drink it. Where does wastewater come from? Wastewater comes from factories and people's homes. Why are water treatment plants important? Water treatment plants are important because they turn dirty water into clean water so we can use it again. What are clouds made of? Clouds are made up of water droplets. Mrs. Johnston hopes you enjoyed our story, Willie the Water Drop, and learning and following Willie along his journeys to see what happens to fresh water.